everyone, and welcome to In Our Community. My name is Mark Isaac Potter, and we're talking today with Bub Pratt, and he seems to have left his spot. What happened? You don't act, dude, come on. Please pronounce the name of your studio several times.
It's called
Slowly.
Kukuau.
What is it?
It's Kukuau.
Which is what?
Kukuau, pronounced Kukuau.
Cuckoo Owl.
Totally indigenous to this neighborhood.
And you've got this industrial sized serving of, okay, so I want to ask you some questions about your studio and the people that work there and all that stuff. Feel free to elaborate if I don't give you the whole thing.
Oh, for
Tell
sure.
us a little bit about, you've got what's called a multimedia studio, right?
That's what we call it. Yeah, a multimedia art studio.
So what kind of things happen in a multimedia studio? Like, do you record bands there or what?
Yeah, we do audio recording. People can come in and use the space as do video work. We've shot innumerable music videos here, for example. Or, it's also an event space. So we've had everything from speed dating to poetry slams to open mics. And we just celebrated our 354th Jazz Jam, our Monday night Jazz Jam. It's the longest running jazz jam in the history of the state. And I'm the host for that. And we have a lot of fun. And the community has been really blessed by it. And everybody loves coming out to the Jazz Jam. It's completely unique to anything that's happening around. And hopefully we can keep it going for a long time. We'll see how long we can go before the powers that be extinguish us.
Okay. I forgot to introduce myself. So
yeah, Mark, good to see you again.
My name is Mark Isaac Potter. And
I'm Bub Pratt.
I'm the owner of the show. The show is named In Our Community. And I guess what we just did, you would call a cold start. So tell us more about how long have you been there?
So
how long have you been doing this anyway?
I've been a professional musician for over 20 years. I've been in lots of different, varying capacities of many art spaces all throughout. I started in, I was, in Seattle, in the Seattle area, and I've helped several friends do, different kinds of art spaces, galleries to all kinds of multimedia art spots. And then so when I moved to the Big Island in 2011, I started teaching at this music store down the street, and I needed a new place.
Down the street from where you are now?
Yeah, in downtown Hilo.
Okay, Hilo, so you're in Hilo, Hawaii. We should clarify that.
And so yeah, I needed a new place to teach. This buddy of mine was a real estate agent. I asked him, he said, I know a perfect spot. We walked a couple blocks. He showed me this crazy space, and he gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. And I've been here now 8 years. And the minute I moved, I started working on the place. It was like the island telling me, yeah, brah, you've been doing what you're told. You've been minding your kuleana.
Yeah. Don't go there with that.
Here's your blessing.
We're continental people. We don't know what kuleana is.
Your kuleana is what you're in charge of. When something is what you're work. You're given thing. Your family could be your kuleana.
You moved there in 2011. And you started the studio that same year?
No, 2 years later.
2 years later, so 13.
Yeah, so
that would be
so I moved
10
here.
years.
I moved here like 2000. It was like I moved out here like 2012, and it was like 2015. I got the keys, so it was like I was out 2.5 years or so. Yeah, so I'm about to celebrate my 12th year here on August 18th.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Now you've got a team around you. How many people work there, and how many people do things around there? What jobs do they have?
Well, what happens is, I mean, we can't really afford employees. We can't even really afford a business license.
Oh,
But we do.
why? Why are you saying that?
Because I don't need permission from these
All
people,
right.
you know.
Okay.
But I have a my partner in the control room in the recording studio. His name is Kali, and he's like my main business partner. And
Okay.
he's a one of the most amazing engineers I've ever sat behind, and he's a dear brother, and we make a lot of music together as a engineer producer duo. And then I have a couple of interns, and they have different specialties. One of them is this amazing writer. She's a junior and no, she's about to be a senior in high school, and she's one of the most amazing writers I've ever, you know, young adult, even college age writers. Oh my goodness, like especially like high school age, right? Oh my, she's amazing. She did this. It's funny. So she's on scholarship for this Catholic high school down the street, and she did a presentation on the last verse of the Ginsberg poem "Howl." Have you heard of
On
it?
the yeah, yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were like, this is a Catholic school, church school, you know what I mean? So I don't know if you're gonna do Howl, kiddo. And she's like, so she shows them the part she's gonna do, and they're like, oh, okay. But the fact that she's
Yeah.
a junior in high school and has even knows what that book is
Yeah.
huge. And her writing really reflects that. She's a songwriter. She writes prose and poetry and reviews and things like that. And she's helping me a lot with my musicals. Musical, because I just finished my first musical called Cam Girl. And I think I told you about that last time, right?
I don't remember. I know you've been on
Yeah,
once, and I think your
yeah.
name is Bub Pratt. That's what I'm thinking. And you're
Yeah.
from, say the name of your studio again.
Cuckoo Owl Studio
Cuckoo
in
Owl.
downtown Hilo, Hawaii.
Cuckoo, like cuckoo's nest, cuckoo owl.
Yeah, that's spelled
So if I think of
K-U-K-U.
cuckoo's nest, I could think of getting electrocuted. It's cuckoo owl.
Cuckoo Owl. And we have a theme song, and in the hook of the theme song is our call, which is cuckoo owl, cuckoo owl.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right, I've got some
So the
questions here.
yeah.
I'm not gonna play around with the audience. I'm gonna tell them up front. I've got these
Okay.
questions.
So real quick, just to finish your question, first,
Go ahead.
last question was, yeah, I have a couple of interns, and one's an amazing drummer, and uh, and they help out, and
You
they
told
teach
us
us
let
a lot of stuff
you
in
told us
trade.
less about the other intern. So tell us more about the other intern.
So yeah, there's the one intern. She's a great writer, and then I got this other intern who's an amazing drummer, and just is getting into the industry and wants to do a lot of recording and a lot of different things. So she's here a lot, and people come here, and nobody just sits around and twiddles their thumbs. You got to be working on something. That's a rule.
Yeah,
Can't just
okay.
unless you're taking a break,
Now
from
if
working
some
on
you
something.
started this what year again?
It was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now what is
I got the keys February 2015, and we had our christening like April 1st of that year.
okay. What does it take, especially in the beginning, for someone to start a place like that? Because it's a multimedia. Have you ever shot commercials there?
No, we don't. I mean, what we
You
do
don't
is
do that kind of stuff.
we we have the space for people to bring in their own gear and do
Yeah.
that stuff because we don't have the gear to do
So
everything.
you rent out the space or what?
Yeah, so we'll rent out the space, and sometimes I might help with the some of the creative aspects of the set or whatever they want to have going on. But yeah, we rent out the space. We don't really have a editing bay for video, or which is, kind of on the list. That'd be pretty cool to have a video editing bay. We've got some space for that. And we there's other ways we can improve on a lot of things, but yeah, people mostly use the space for things.
Okay, so if somebody was going to start a studio like that, what's the very first thing you do? Look for the space or what?
Well,
How
yeah,
do you walk us through the
understand.
first
Well,
year?
you got to understand your budget, and so what you're able to do with that budget. And then, yeah, you really got to find a space. It's nice to have some space to move around in. You can't like be renting a room in a house and start to do all this stuff. When there's crazy people making racket next door and stuff, you got to kind of have a space. And then um, if you want to, there's a couple of ways. One way, you can get into a bunch of debt and buy a bunch of gear that you don't know how to use. And I've seen people do it this way.
Okay.
And then like and then and then hopefully people will come and use your gear. Or you can have like not get into a bunch of debt, open it up for the community, and have the community kind of guide what the community needs for it to for the community to flourish, and what how this space can serve that, how your space can serve that. So that I kind of went and did it the latter way. I just kind of didn't go into a bunch of debt, had a vision and some nice donations, and started and created a little crew, and everybody kind of hopped on board, and now we do a bunch of different things. I got a crew for the Monday Night Jazz Jam, of a drummer, a bass player, and a bartender, and they run those chairs. And they can, if they need a sub, they get a sub. If they, we try to have it rotate so it's not one person doing everything. And
Okay.
if I wind up having to do everything, then things start having to drop, because I just
Yeah.
can't do everything.
Yeah.
And I've
Okay.
been in a lot of positions where I have to do everything, and it's not fun at all.
Now, what happens when you do an album? How many crew do you need in there to record an album? I know there's the band, but other than that, the crew actually recording. And are you making music videos or are you just doing the audio?
Well, what happens is I'll do the audio. So the crew for that would be an engineer and me as the producer. And usually it's for singer songwriters, and they uh, they usually just come in by themselves, and we figure out the song, and I wind up writing the bass lines and all the harmony stuff, and my partner does a lot of the drum work, and then we do a lot of all the vocals, and get those lined up. We have another intern who helps us do vocal editing, because there'll be 30 tracks of vocals, and it all needs to get like lined up, and some of it needs to be tuned and
Yeah.
things like that. So there'll be that's a lot of work, just the vocal editing. And then so we do that, and then the artist will make a whole record, and we'll get a graphic designer to design the cover, maybe the CD or just a digital banner, um, or a actual record, and we'll get a graphic designer. And if we decide to do some music videos, I'll help the artist storyboard a music video, make it all happen as a producer, and then and then I'll direct, and we get a cinematographer. That person is usually the editor, or we'll find somebody else to edit. So we keep it pretty. And if we need to, we'll have a lighting guy, and usually if it's a female artist, we'll have like a makeup person, or something like that, so they can, we can make sure they're done up and not looking. But I've
Now
been
what
on a lot. Most of the shoots is just me, the artist, and the cinematographer right there making the decisions on what's happening. And 9 times out of 10, the location is one I've chosen that's been in the storyboard and that we've discussed and worked it out.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's super
How
fun,
many
man.
how many albums would you do in a year, do you say?
We'll do like, I think we did 2 like last year, and we did 1 this year, and we'll do like, yeah, a couple a year.
So, and how long does that whole process take from the time the singer comes in and says, I want to do an album, to
Uh,
the time it's
oh man,
finished?
yeah. Fastest case scenario, if they're able to come in more than once a week, would be like 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
usually it's about a year, and so usually we're working on multiple projects at the same time because I mean that the main computer is is that thing's on like 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
between me and my partner, we're like tag teaming that computer and working on stuff. And so the last thing we just delivered was where'd that record go? Amalia Joy. Oh, let me get it. I'm gonna show.
All right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, while he's gone, I just want to say that I want to thank KMVT Television because they're the TV station that we broadcast out of. Um,
Sorry about that. I
we
should have had
also
this
come
ready.
on YouTube after the broadcast at the station.
So yeah, the last album we did was with this artist Amalia Joy. She's super great. This is
Okay.
her little CD,
Very nice. Okay. Yeah.
and
No, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's very
we
beautiful.
did 2 epic music videos with her.
Yeesh.
So, and that was and one of the videos was, well, each of them had a pretty good sized crew. One of them had a crew of kids because there was this big kids scene where I had this one kid like light this fire and everybody's dancing around the fire and stuff, and it's super fun. And then we had this other one called and that was called Blow from Amalia Joy. And then we had this other one called Phoenix, which I oh man, now I gotta tell you this story. So we were looking for a lava tube to do a music video in, and everybody is like really covetous of their lava tubes in their house, on their property. Nobody wants anybody to know they have a lava tube in the under their property. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is,
What is it?
but
What is a lava tube? Is it
oh,
big for
lava
people to
tube.
crawl in or what?
Oh, lava tubes are like in many spaces, many places. You can fit a house in one, and they're miles long, and they start from the up in the volcano, and they go all the way down to the ocean.
Oh,
And there's
I never heard of
hundreds
such
of
a
them.
thing.
Oh man, it's
Okay.
amazing. And
Okay.
maybe by the time an island gets as old as Oahu, you're probably not going to have many lava tubes. A lot of them probably filled in or whatever. But
No, wait,
on the big
is it a human made thing?
No, it's made by the lava. When
A
so
lava
when the
tube.
yeah, when the lava is coming down the mountain,
It forms into a
um,
tube.
well, yeah, because it creates like a coal. I mean, the lava cools around the flow,
Okay.
but
All
the
right.
flow stays going in the middle. And then when the flow stops, you're left with this giant cave.
Okay.
And it's varying size. They're varying sizes, but a lot of them are big. Anyway, so we couldn't find a lot to, but I knew this other location, which was this brand new beach. This black sand beach is just gorgeous. That was made by the last lava flow in 2018, and we come on in, bro. It's cool. It's cool. Um, we scouted out the location, showed them the location, made a plan. Hopefully, and it's like a 2 mile hike to this spot, and I was hoping we could get like a quad or something, but we couldn't get it. I said, worst case scenario, get the biggest wagon that you can find with like big cushy tires and stuff, and I'll tow all the stuff to the site. So we we I got there on Friday with like a load of gear, and the artist's husband, and we cruise in to the site with like, and we had this wagon like tied and bungeed and stuff, so it was like higher than our
Right.
heads. And we pull
Right.
this thing down to this beach spot, and I set up a 10 by 10 pop tent, and then a regular. I just set up a base camp, right? And then the dude uh, leaves, and I spend the night there at the location. And then in the morning, I take the empty wagon 2 miles back up to the trailhead. We load it up with camera gear and costumes and stuff, and bring it on down to the base camp. And then
Okay.
we shot all day, and part of the night, like few hours, like 5 hours in the dark too. And crazy stuff. The artist has this poi ball dance thing, like the fireballs with on the
Right.
ends of a chain, and she's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just epic, visual, crazy, amazing, beautiful epicness. And so then we pack all the camera gear, all the stuff, and the crew. We had like a multiple crew, like people helping with lighting, people helping with reflecting, and shade and stuff,
Right.
um and then yeah, and then we took all that stuff, cruised back up to the trailhead with all the gear and all the people, like at 11 o'clock at night, and then in the rain, and then I came back with the empty wagon down to the base camp, stayed the night again, and then my buddy, the artist's husband, came down with and helped me out the next morning. So yeah,
Yes.
epic.
Is that bigger than most, or is that more laborious than most?
Yeah, a
Okay.
little bit,
I'm
a
hoping it
little,
is. That sounds
a
pretty
little bit more
laborious.
laborious than most, but man, so you gotta sacrifice that kind of stuff if you want like epic shots. And
Yeah.
the visuals are so important. And I like to do, I like to focus on audio and visual, and um and they both take a lot of work to do right.
Okay. All right. Let me see what other. I've got a whole bunch of questions here. We're
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm taking like
we
20
have
minutes each
about
one.
4 minutes left.
Okay,
4 minutes.
pick your favorite question.
Let me see what I got here. We've answered most of these.
All right.
What are some of the gaps you'd like to fill in, or how could other people help take up cuckoo owl? I mean, how could other if you had something you wanted to improve about the studio, what would be one or two things you would?
That's a good question.
I'm getting a
Thank you for
note
asking
here.
that too, Mark, man. Because yeah, we would. it'd be great. It'd be really handy to have a video editing bay. That's something that has been a dream of ours here for a while.
Okay.
Another thing would be to work out the lighting, get a little bit more like just some pro LED lighting that can be controlled, and it'd be nice to be able to control the lighting and have like a remote spotlight. That'd be nice. Just some pro theater lighting. Um,
Okay.
the
How
sound
big is
system.
your studio? You have one big studio that you tape in when you're
Well,
not taping on location?
we have it's about uh all together it's about 1,600 square feet.
The entire
So
space or the studio?
um, yeah, and all the entire space. So the main uh event space room studio space is 1,200 square feet, and it has a mezzanine. Here, I'll show you.
Oh, okay. The camera's not
And
going to
then
go with you, unless you take the computer.
look, it's I
You
got
are
you the computer on the wheels.
okay.
So up there is the mezzanine, and
Okay.
we hold about 180 people in this space.
Okay.
And and then I'm sitting talking to you from the stage,
Right.
and there's the drum set,
Okay.
and here's Zolly. He's gonna be working on some drums and stuff.
Hey,
Say hey,
Sally.
Zolly. And then this is the control room. Got to go
Okay.
through this. Got to go through this shark. Over here is
Yeah.
the editing bay and the speakers and stuff. Way over there, and the computer and screens and stuff. And then over here, we'll do a lot of the tracking. And
Okay.
feel free, you can check us out. We have all our links.com/Kukua Studio. We got kukuastudio.com. Check us out on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been In Our Community. And my name is Mark Isaac Potter, and we've been visiting with Bub Pratt from Hilo, Hawaii. And his studio is Cuckoo
Kukua
Out.
Studio. Thank
There we
you.
go. All right,
All right,
ladies and
Mark. Have
gentlemen,
a
thank
blessed
you
one.
so
Always a
much.
pleasure.
Thank you. You
You
take
take
care of
care,
yourself, brother.
bro.
All right.
Aloha.